Alright, how's it going everybody, and welcome back to another Minecraft mod spotlight. This time we're taking a look at Better Furnaces mod for version 1.7.10 of Minecraft. So, what this mod adds is a whole bunch of furnaces which are able to smelt faster than the basic furnace, and plenty of upgrades which allow you to customize the way outputs work, how much stuff you can put in, lava even. There's a whole house filled up with a bunch of upgrades which you can kind of see right now, as well as an entire wall of new furnaces. So let's dive right in. This is definitely going to be a longer video. Right, so starting with the iron furnace. In order to craft the iron furnace, you're going to need 8 iron ingots as well as a basic furnace, and this gives you the iron furnace. Now, all of the Better furnaces have the same basic UI. You have your 3 upgrade slots, a fuel slot, and your ore spot where you put in whatever you'd like to smelt. You've got the same burn arrow and your output. So let's say we put in some coal, which we already have in there. We have the full output, and then we put in whatever we want to smelt. In this case, it's iron ore. Now, already you can tell that it smelts a bit faster than the basic furnace. This one smelts about 1.5 times faster than the usual furnace. So this is the same UI. It's carried all throughout all the other furnaces. There's just different upgrades which will allow you to customize that. So moving on to the gold furnace, it requires 8 gold ingots and an iron furnace. So essentially, if you want to do good upgrades, you're going to have to use the previous furnace which you made, or just make a new one altogether to make it to the next tier. They're pretty consistent that way, in that you just pretty much have to use the previous furnace you built to make the new one. So with the gold furnace, once you have built that with your 8 iron ingots and the iron furnace, same UI, however, this one smelts a little bit faster. In fact, it smelts twice as fast as the normal furnace. So you can see that we're able to smelt iron just a bit faster than the iron furnace. Now things start to kick up once we get to the diamond and the hell furnaces. So to craft the diamond furnace, you're going to need 4 diamonds, a gold furnace, and 4 blocks of glass. Now with the diamond furnace, same UI once again, but let's put in some iron. Now that is significantly faster. In fact, it cooks items twice as fast as the, I'm sorry, not the twice as fast, 4 times as fast. And you can see how fast this is truly going. Now, to the hell furnace, where we're going to need 2 whole diamond blocks, a diamond furnace, 3 magma creams, nether bricks, and a TNT. Now, this one, you thought 4 times was pretty fast? Well, let's try 25 times as fast. Now, you are going to speed through your iron ore, whatever you're smelting up. You are not going to have any more lazy Sundays with this machine. No, sir, no way. Now, you thought that was the pinnacle? Absolutely not. We have the extreme furnace, in case the hell furnace wasn't enough for you. But you're going to need a nether star for this one, so unless you've got a bunch of wither skulls laying around, it's not going to happen too easily. So, nether star, 2 eyes of ender. You're going to need a hell furnace, end stone, as well as nether bricks. Now, 25 times as fast, 50 times as fast is where we're at right now. We are absolutely speeding through all of our smelting right now. So these are all the furnaces with all the time ratios of how long it takes to smelt however much ore you have in there. So now we're going to move on to the upgrades. I mentioned the upgrade slots earlier, so we're going to take a trip over to the upgrade house and take a look at what we have to deal with. Alright, so we are in the upgrade house, and if I remember correctly, there are 14 whole upgrades. Now I have a base gold furnace next to all these so we can do some demonstrations, and I also have a setup outside to demonstrate some of the piping abilities which this mod allows to happen. So for these first 2 upgrades right here, we have fuel efficiency and advanced fuel efficiency, as well as respectively ore processing and advanced ore processing. Now with the upgrades in respect, these are the only types that have a specific upgrade within itself. What I mean by that is we have ourselves an ore processing, but then we have an advanced ore processing, and that's really the only kind of continuity we see with these 2 types. So what I would recommend, I'm going to show you the crafting recipes, of course. 4 lapis blocks. We're going to need ender pearls, as well as a piece of coal to do your fuel efficiency upgrade. And likewise with ore processing, we are going to need our stone, flint, and a piston. Now I would recommend not necessarily starting with these and just keeping these in your furnaces. However, you do have to build these in order to make the advanced units. So for example, with the advanced fuel efficiency, you're going to have a base fuel efficiency upgrade in order to make those. And to make this, by the way, you're going to need 4 diamonds, 3 eyes of ender, and a ghast tier to make your advanced fuel efficiency upgrade. Likewise with the advanced ore processing, 4 diamonds, 2 obsidian, 2 pistons, and the ore processing upgrade. So once you've made these upgrades, I believe I have them in a machine around here. Let me take a quick peek. Guess not. let's just pull out the display cases if I have them. I have an advanced ore efficiency. Let me just get the ore processing right away. So I've got these outside right now, and I just remember that as I was spawning them in. So in this chest right here, we have ourselves our advanced ore processing upgrade. Now, what these two upgrades do is the efficiency, as you might expect with the fuel efficiency, makes it so you have to use less fuel to make the same output. Likewise, with the ore processing upgrade, you get twice as many items when you smelt. So let's say we have some more iron ore we want to spawn in. Let's put it in the iron furnace, or gold furnace rather, and as we smelt, we see less coal is used per tick of the fuel. So also, we get our double iron ingot output, and this works the same way. Now, you might expect to ask, or I would expect you to ask, with this amount of ores coming out, there's going to run out of space very quickly. So, in order to combat that, there are a set of upgrades which we'll move on to, which will combat that. But before we hit those, we have ourselves a storage upgrade and a liquid upgrade. I'll start with the liquid upgrade, because as we saw before, I was only using coal as a fuel source. I tried using lava earlier, but then I read through the notes and I found out, hey, there's a liquid upgrade. Let's see what this does. So to craft this, we have 4 iron ingots, 3 glass blocks, and a bucket. And we have ourselves a liquid upgrade. Now I have this in here, and all you have to do is put in your lava bucket, and then you have yourself ore to put in there. So spawning in some iron ore, what the lava upgrade does, the liquid upgrade rather, instead of using the ticks of fuel like with normal coal, how you're able to do 8 per coal, with this, instead of having the whole lava in there and it just generally degrades in its effectiveness as a fuel, every time an ore is smelted, a tick of the lava's presence within the tank is used. So if you want to smelt a specific amount of ores without wasting any fuel, you're going to want to use the liquid upgrade, because for every tick of iron ore which is produced, only 1 tick or fuel resource unit of the lava is used. So it's very efficient in that respect for doing all of your smelting needs. So with the storage upgrade, as you might assume, we're able to increase the amount of storage within our furnaces, all of them in fact. So to craft this, you're going to need 4 cobblestone, 4 glass blocks, and a chest, and you get the storage upgrade. And I believe I've already fitted this one. Yes, I have. So taking a look with the basic furnace, we only have 1 unit for each, the fuel and the input. For this, we have 2 of each. So if we were to spawn in ourselves, say, an iron ore and then some gold ore, and then we could just load up on some more coal as well. With this, we are able to just absolutely load up a furnace. Now, the one discrepancy here is you might expect, if you've played Tekkit at all with some of the industrial craft mods where you're able to smelt 2 different types of ores at once and you get the double outputs. Unfortunately, this mod is a bit more basic in that respect, where it finishes smelting this gold ore and then it starts with this iron ore. However, it's still a very good way to just load up a furnace and then come back later and pick out all your ores. But that's really the only problem with the storage upgrade. It doesn't interchange between, it doesn't go 1 gold tick, 1 iron tick. It just kind of goes through them all together. But other than that, it certainly is a step in the right direction. So, with these 2 new upgrades, auto output and auto input upgrades, what I'm going to recommend doing, aside from just using these, is I'm going to recommend using the factory upgrade, which is a combination of the 2, but before we get there, we need to know how to craft them. So, with the auto output upgrade, we're going to need 4 iron ingots, 2 gold ingots, and a piece of glass, and you get the auto output upgrade. Now, with the auto input upgrade, we're going to need 6 pieces of gold, 2 glass blocks, and a diamond. So once you have both of these, they affect the way that the items are input or output of a machine. Now, the reason why I say don't use these, just use the factory upgrade, is, as I said, it's a combination of the 2, and it has a single UI, so you don't have to do as much messing around with your different UIs. So you can just have 1 block that does all the work you need for input and output. So to make this, what was that? You need 6 diamonds, and you're going to need the input and the output upgrade as well as a piece of glass. Now, I've already done a demonstration of this outside, but let me just grab another one real quick so I can demonstrate on another machine. It is the factory. So to show you what it looks like outside real quick, I've done it on this machine out here just so we can take a look at how it works specifically with chests. So as you can see here, I have my chests all around. I have an ore chest, I have a fuel chest, and I have myself the output chest. In order to use this, you have to shift right click and it brings up a UI. Now the output direction is what you want if you have your ores going out. That's where your ores go. Your input is where you put in the base ores that you want to smelt, and then the fuel is wherever you want to have your specific fuel being pumped into. Let me just get rid of this zombie real quick because he is being a stinker for my demonstration. Sir, please. Give me a moment. So, In order to do this, you set your outputs and inputs respectively by clicking. You have to shift click to do this, by the way. So we want our outputs going right to this chest, we want our inputs coming in from the left, and we want our fuel coming in from the back. Now, it's not enough just to do this. You actually have to put the upgrade in there, and then it happens. So you can see all the ore being pumped in, all the fuel from the back, and then the outputs are coming out here. So this is just an incredible way to bypass all the piping and hopper work, and you can just have your chests located just like this, and it's extremely easy. In fact, I would recommend it over all of the piping that you would otherwise have to do. So you can have your input chest, your fuel chest, and your output chest, and it all works with just one upgrade, and it's all done for you. Very automated. So moving on to our final upgrades in question. So we already tackled the factory upgrade, which is a combination of the output and the input upgrades. Now there's a few little silly ones here, like the color upgrade, which I just really would not recommend using. It just helps you change the color. This is how you craft if you're interested: bone meal, ink sac, cocoa beans, rose red, gold ingot, dandelion yellow, cactus green, lapis lazuli, and pink dye. That's how you do it, and it gives you one of these, and you're just able to upgrade the color. It's pretty dumb, to be quite honest, but if you like your colors, well, it's for you. Now, the ore dictionary is a bit of a silly one unless you have yourself a mod which adds in different items. So let's say you're running a build of Tekkit and you have different ores that you're not necessarily familiar with, say copper or tin. Whenever you open this up by right-clicking, you can put whatever in that you have. Let me just spawn in some iron, and it'll tell you that it's iron. It's just so you're able to identify an ore when you're smelting. It also works within machines, so you're able to see what you're smelting. Sometimes it works with different UI IDs on different types of copper from different types of mods. So from factorization and Tekkit, for example. If you're not a fan of those mods or you haven't used them, what I'm saying right now doesn't mean it's a certain thing. It's just this mod has certain integration with other mods. Now, the piping upgrade. Now, since base Minecraft does not have a lot of piping, you have to work with hoppers instead. This is kind of a piece of upgrade which really isn't necessary, especially in light of the factory upgrade. So I'm going to show you how to craft it, but other than using it, you really don't have to unless you're interested, or unless you really want to use your hoppers. So we have our iron ingots and our 2 glass blocks. Now, moving on to our last upgrade is actually an upgrade package. Now, to craft this, you need 4 gold ingots. You're going to need 2 crafting tables as well as a chest to make your upgrade package. Now, the upgrade package, what it does is it allows you to upgrade your chests, or not your chest, I'm sorry, your furnaces. So I've already loaded this one up with upgrades. Now, 3 is not a lot of upgrades. However, the upgrade chest, if you shift right click, allows you to put even more upgrades in on top of your upgrades. Now, as far as I know, these upgrade abilities don't stack, so double fuel efficiency doesn't really do that. The developers made a note that they balanced this out, so there will not be excessive lag in the game caused by something going too fast or a tick registry error where things are just going in and out of themselves. So it is patched in that way where it is balanced. However, the upgrade package does allow you to add, say, a liquid upgrade on top of your storage upgrades and such, so it is certainly a very good addition. So other than that, that is actually the mod in its entirety. All of the upgrades covered and all of the furnaces, and with a nice little demonstration of my most favorite part about this mod, the intricate system that allows you to smelt your ores out one direction and then have all your other inputs put in their respective ways. It's very configurable, and I really enjoy this mod and I'd recommend it. So this has been the factory, not the factory mod, what am I doing? It's the Better Furnaces mod for version 1.7.10 of Minecraft. I hope you enjoyed, and if you'd like to see how to install the mod, stick around for a little bit longer. Thank you for watching. Alright everybody, welcome to the installation guide for the Better Furnaces mod for version 1.7.10 of Minecraft. To install this mod, it's relatively simple. All you have to do is install Minecraft Forge for version 1.7.10, whatever the most recent version is. It may not be this one, but I will provide the most recent one in the description down below. So to install this, all you have to do is install Minecraft Forge. Now to do that, just click on install client and the rest will be done for you. Now, once you've launched Minecraft up at least once using your certain launch profile for Forge, which I'll show you how to set up if you haven't already, all you have to do is go to %appdata%, which is your roaming folder where you can locate .minecraft, and once you're in here, you should locate a mods folder. If it wasn't created, you can just make it yourself. It'll still work just the same. So all you have to do is drag in your Better Furnaces mod, and then you are good to go. That is it installed. All you have to do is launch up your Minecraft now and set up the profile if you haven't already. Other than that, it's relatively simple, and it should be all finished from here. So once we launch up our Minecraft, if you don't already have a Forge profile or something similar to it, all you have to do is set up a profile with your most recent version of Forge. In this case, it's mine for version 1.7.10. All you have to do is use that, and then launch up Minecraft, and you are all finished, really. That's all it takes, and you are fine to go. So I hope you all enjoyed this Minecraft mod spotlight for version 1.7.10 of Minecraft. This was the Better Furnaces mod. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you have any problems, feel free to let me know via personal message or the comments. I will assist you for as long and as good as I can. So in the mods tab, we have ourselves the Better Furnaces. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.